Good evening and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. I'm JP and joining me this fine Monday night, my two good men, Mr. Alan Stirling and Mr. Ryan Clifford. Well, Alan, it's good to be back, mate. I'm back in the kind of land of living. Used to had to carry the a bit last week, and it's good to be back on, mate. I hope you had a nice weekend. It's good to see you.
Aye, no, good to see you. Well, as well. Hope you're feeling a lot better, mate. Aye, nice to come back on and speak about Celtic. Feels as if we were on kind of constantly last week, me and Ryan. Keeping up the two daddies, know what I mean? So, but no, it was a quiet weekend watching the football, etc. And obviously we'll go on to, there was a massive shock in the Scottish Cup. That shock was that Aberdeen they won a game. They've not won in a while, so that was the big shock, wasn't it? The other shocks.
Yeah.
So no, it was a good performance considering the amount of changes that Brendan made to the first 11. And we're in a hat for the draw, which I presume is after the football tonight. So we'll see who we get in the next round.
Yeah, obviously lots to digest, Ryan. It's good to see you, mate. Good to be back on me. Like Alan says there, quite a bit to get through. Daizen Maeda scores a hat-trick. If John's watching, your favourite scored as well. I was thinking about you when you popped that in the bottom corner. Lovely wee take for Yang. Hugh Keevans even said tonight on his super scoreboard that was his best goal of the weekend. A guy that he's been slaughtering all season, and he gave credit where credit was due. So, not only that as well, with a SINISALO debut for Celtic on Saturday as well, Ryan. You were also in attendance, Ryan, as well at the game. So, hope you had a nice weekend, mate.
I had a nice Monday, mate. Had a wee stroll around Queen's Park today with a coffee, so I enjoyed that.
Magic.
Lovely big park that, so it is.
Somebody was saying the Wenger boys were down there playing earlier.
I did hear drums, but it wasn't for Govan, so I don't know if it's Tabo Dead or no, I don't know, but that would have been a shock if I knew that, to be fair. But
Ryan's at the pond booing the ducks.
He's walking along singing to the Swans and my Uncle John from Jamaica.
You've ruined my Monday, boo, Swans, boo. No, like he says, obviously the game was a good performance. It could have been one of the tricky ones.
They were booing you because you gave them Warburtons and it wasn't Sunbless best of gear.
No, listen, 5-0. It could have been a tricky game as if you want to call them our rivals from across the water seen yesterday. It could have been a banana skin for us. It could have been a wee tricky game for us, and it turns out it wasn't. It was actually, I don't want to say a training session. I don't want to be disrespectful to Raith Rovers, but we won with a quite bad ease, and it could have been more. So some good individual performances. Obviously, Dave Murray strolled it. Again, it was Raith Rovers, so you need to take stock and just let the boy enjoy his time.
Guys, I need to stop you. I need to stop. This literally broke on my phone. I need to stop you. Celtic have, this is a statement from Celtic tonight. Celtic have confirmed that has successfully appealed Daizen Maeda's 2-match suspension, which means he's now available to play against Bayern on Wednesday.
Ah, brilliant.
Was that official
breaking
Celtic,
news?
guys?
It's in the official Celtic Twitter page, yes.
Why have we just appealed for it now?
They've obviously done it as a process, and it's now they've now had their answer.
Right, brilliant.
So I was unaware personally that they had appealed that, so I do apologise, Ryan. I know you were in mid-flow there.
That's all right.
That pinged on my phone literally as you were chatting, mate. So.
I wish they had a bowler this morning. I've got a bowler
I'm gutted it's only the quarterfinals because you couldn't very well get away with saying you had a semi.
That means John's got. That means John's happy. Young's not going to be playing now.
No, that's it.
I know it's not playing anyway.
One of our big goal threats is now going to have to sit on the bench.
It could have been a tricky game for us, like our good, if you want to call them rivals across the city found out yesterday, mate. So, for Dave Murray again, it was obviously Raith Rovers. You don't want to get too excited or anything like that because he obviously did make a massive mistake in Aston Villa. So, Dave Murray stole it. Don't get me wrong, I don't want it was an easy game for him, but
Yeah.
it was a good game to get some confidence and play his football. Good cameo as well from Nerowski. I thought he looked pretty decent in the ball. Again, it's Raith Rovers, so you don't go overboard. It was good to see. I was actually quite happy to see Nerowski get a bit of game time. Whether or not it means anything, probably no, but it's just good to see him play again. Maeda, phenomenal. Loads of positives, mate. So next round of the Heart, obviously, like Alan says, we'll find out after the Hearts game tonight. But all positive, mate, in the football front. So yeah, looking forward to a good chat tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Good evening to everybody that's joining us across the platforms. I hope you're all well. As I said at the beginning, I hope you all had a lovely weekend. Start off with some comments. We got Anne Jem, evening JP, Ryan Allen, and the chat. Mark McDonald, evening hosts and the chat. Monty John 2, evening JP, Ryan and Allen, and the chat. Sorry, same kind of stuff. Plunge, he said, evening Fenians and Queen's Park fans as well. So he's kind of a bit of tongue-in-cheek there for Plunge. And P. McLaughlin, he's on Philip's Web. That's amazing, man. Is that your own internet line? Is that the chat up line now for you, mate? Hope you're doing well, though. Chris Murray, evening boys and the chat. Hail, hail. Ryan T, too much popcorn. So obviously too much entertainment for
You
Ryan
must have
there.
enjoyed a wee film last night, maybe a wee film last night. Maybe too much popcorn.
Yeah. Theo Isaac, enjoy the day. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your kind words. I hope you do enjoy. Hope you do enjoy your day. We're going to enjoy our day probably more so on Ryan's Half 10 show now with this news of Daizen Maeda dropping for us.
He's that fast. He's already on that show already.
Yeah,
He's done it.
Yeah. There's wee Willie Collum. There he is. Evening, lads. Great news about Daizen Maeda for Wednesday night's game. James Kennedy. Evening, JP, Ryan and Alan. Peter McGlone. Hello, all. As he says, he's sipping his Lipton iced tea, probably, the way I could just picture him being.
On his 40.
No, honestly, I thought
double.
That looks like he's new Rangers player as well. That's his new Rangers. That's his. Why has he got a photo of Scott Arfield on his collar? Don't know. We'll keep that on for another one. Keep that on for another one. Good evening, Barry. Hope you're well, pal. Just try to get through some of the comments. Somebody that's no commented already. And yeah, so Paul Boyle. Hi all, fantastic news from Maeda. He must have ran all the way to Gaffin back with that appeal. Yeah, he got it in time. I think that's how he's managed to do it, lads. But Alan, just touching on, obviously, a number of fronts now we're going to have to get through. Starting off, we had a young debutant in the team, Dane Murray, making his first Scottish Cup start for the team. First we'd seen a lad for a long time. He get chucked in against Aston Villa. He makes a mistake. Brendan then explains why he plays him. And then he's in the team before Mike Nawrocki. And I think most of us, myself included, were probably thinking to ourselves, right, okay, but you know, what's happening here? But as Ryan says, mate, I don't think we can fault the lad in any way, shape or form.
Yeah, obviously we've been crying out for kind of a lot of the younger players to get opportunities if they're up to that level, and obviously Brendan thinks that Dane's reaching comparatively that kind of level, so it's always nice to see. Obviously it's a game against Raith Rovers, but when you look back on the season, you look at the Falkirk game, this was really comfortable in comparison to that. That's what kind of performance and result can happen in comparison to the weekend's result. So there wasn't any complacency. We made was 9 changes, I'm sure we made for the team before. So you're looking at that, and as I say, the Falkirk game earlier in the season, we made kind of similar amounts of changes, and it didn't really bode well for us. We still got the result, but it wasn't exactly the best performance we'd ever seen against lower league kind of opposition. So yeah, there was a number of players that kind of played well, Dane Murray especially. I think that's all we've got to bring confidence into Dane Murray.
Yeah.
I think kind of Daizen Maeda's obviously he's stole the headlines with everything, obviously with the hat-trick and the 50th goal. So yeah, it's a nice kind of squad performance, shall we say, going into a massive game on Wednesday. So it's all we can really ask for, and hopefully we start to see kind of Dane Murray more, whether that be off the bench and kind of being a rotational player, because I think he has got all the attributes to be a kind of decent centre half for Celtic, but only time will tell. And if Brendan's kind of put his faith in Dane Murray before Mike Norowski, I think that's obviously a positive for Murray.
Yeah,
I think we've spoke about it a number of times when you look at the likes of Mike Norowski and kind of Lagerbielke. I'm not saying they're bad players at all, but for whatever reason, our manager Brendan, he doesn't see them as being a part of kind of long-term Celtic in the future. So we need to kind of trust his views and his opinion, and he obviously sees Dane Murray before these other two guys, which will quite happy that those players coming through the youth system that they're getting an opportunity.
yeah. I always need to watch what I'm saying, Ryan, in this household, mate, because of my daughter. My daughter's infatuated with the movie Monsters, Inc. So when I say Mike Nawrocki, it sounds like Mike Wazowski. And obviously she thinks I'm speaking about Monsters, Inc. So it always sparks up a conversation between me and my daughter regarding the film. So you kind of need to watch what you're saying in here, but it is kind of similar. So I'm glad that this time at night she is in her bed. So I can get away with saying it as many times as I want. But as Alan says, mate, Dane Murray, you know, playing on Saturday, he looked the part. For me, I've had a conversation with you over the weekend, and I says to you, I know it's only Raith Rovers, you don't want to get too carried away. However, you look at people's positioning, where they are, they're looking for the ball, are they hiding, are they going other places not looking for the ball, are they coming short, he showed a level of physicality, Ryan, that I think's missed for a wee while. You know, guys like Stephen Welsh have come in, but they've been pushed off the ball so easily. And Raith Rovers had one or two bigger guys trying to do that with him that didn't have any joy. So he was able to handle his own. And he looks very good with the ball. He looks very calm. I'm intrigued to see what's there because, as I said before, Ryan, I think as a player, mate, we might have, you know, the next... I don't want to start putting them onto people, but, you know, we might have the next John Kennedy of the ranks sitting in our ranks already, and we just didn't know. A half-season loan deal to Queen's Park, and the boys came back, and obviously Brendan spoke very highly of him, and I found that very interesting, Ryan, with Dane Murray, because of the way Brendan did speak about him and the way he threw him in against Aston Villa. So it must be clear, mate, that there's a plan there for Dane Murray, and we're just, maybe all of us are just not privy to that plan.
He's obviously brought him back for a reason. I know Stephen Welsh went, but if I kept Stephen Welsh and just left Dane Murray to play at Queen's Park, so obviously Stephen Welsh will be on loan and he's brought Dane back. Again, I personally didn't like what he done at Aston Villa. I didn't like it.
I remember you saying that.
I know it could be classed as good management, but I didn't like it. It was a game that we could have tried to still get a victory or a point. It was a game that it was still there for us to win, and then to put him and Cummins on, I just didn't see a point in it. I know he gives him experience and stuff like that, but there's times to give him experience. I didn't think that was a game to do it. Maybe a game like yesterday, or maybe a qualifier. Maybe you're winning easy street to qualifier. But listen, who am I to judge? I'm not the manager. He's obviously got to do what he's got to do to some capacity to give these young boys game time. But no, he looked decent, the boy Murray. But again, I'm not one of these guys that gets hyped up over a few performances. You need to see it as a long period of time, and it'll be a betting period for him because obviously he's been away for the first team action for a while. So no, listen, he looked comfortable on the ball. He looked good. He wasn't under any real pressure. But what I liked was the fact that again, it's no criticising players, but Ralston and Scales under no pressure gave the ball away on Saturday. Dane Murray didn't. Dane Murray just about kept every ball. It was either going back wide.
By the way, hold on a minute, you're at that. So did Jota. He took a mad touch, the ball went out for a shy.
There you go, Jota. So there's times where there's guys who are first team experienced players didn't give the ball away, and he didn't. So everybody can give a ball away, but I'm no criticising. I'm just saying that he done well. The fact that he's hardly played first team football, and he stepped in like he was already there for a long time. He kept the ball well, but again, he's listening. We all know he's nowhere near trusty. Even Scales and Vickers, he's nowhere near that yet. But he's got to get some game time eventually. Well, again, we all talk about when do you play him? Now, that game was for, I know Cummins played in the B team, but that's the games for your Mitchell Frames, your Daniel Cummins, your Dane Murrays, your Sinisalos. That's the sort of game where you give them a wee bit of experience, where you're maybe 2-3-0 up, etc. So, but no, listen, I thought he done well. He probably, obviously, won the events at the weekend, during the week, probably got on, because obviously due to the magnitude of the game, but it's all about experience for some of these guys as well. And I think some people think that when young boys are on the bench, that, are they going to play? No, sometimes that's part of development. They take them on the bus, they take them to the warm up, they take them on the bench, they see what it's like, and this is what you can do. If you get to the stage where you're a first team player, it's all about building experience and getting them used to this kind of culture of being in the first team. So I get that, it's good management doing that. So, but no, I think what the two years have said is spot on. But no, I do think Dave Murray could potentially, in a few years' time, be something. But it's all about playing him and seeing, because we can't judge him unless he plays. It's all right saying he's not played, but if he's not played for due injury and stuff like that, then. But let's see how he goes in the next few months and a few years, mate.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And seen a wee comment if you plunge. Say they watched the Trinity Tim's podcast again last night. Great watch. Big JP won't have watched it. Not too sure what to make of that comment though. But
I've never heard it.
You are probably right though, because I'm a dad with 2 young kids, mate. So I've probably not got a lot of time to do much else out with this podcast that I do put a lot of time into, mate. So it's probably a fair comment, to be honest with you. It's not like you. However, moving on, obviously, to the next port of call tonight, Alan. Obviously, the one man that, you know, it's on the bar there, Daizen, he hits his own treble himself, mate. Another hat-trick for the wee man. He's on a great vein of form and a great score. A great scoring trail just now.
He has indeed. I think if we all know the kind of traits of Daizen that are absolutely incredible. His effort, his energy, his pressing, everything in that regard. But sometimes we might have been critical about his end product or his technical ability in the past. He seems to be kind of brushing up on that pretty well just now. His finishing has been pretty spot on recently. So I think I was listening to Charlie Mulgrew as well. He was saying the same thing. It was if you've got all the good things about Daizen Maeda, the pressing, the Duracell bunny, shall we say, that never ever stops.
Yeah.
If you can marry that in with somebody that can actually finish goal after goal after goal, that could be a kind of scary proposition for any teams that's coming up against us. So it seems as if Daizen is a player that's full of confidence at the minute. It seems to just be getting better and better each game as it comes. And hopefully that continues, because if you've got a confident Daizen Maeda in front of goal and he gives you all the rest of the attributes that we know he can give, that we've seen kind of the last few years, week in, week out, then we'll definitely get a proper player in our hands. And we were maybe saying that Nicholas Kuhn and Jota, they look probably the more technically gifted players and are more likely to get into the team. But I think the way Daizen's played this season, I think it's going to be very, very difficult to shift him for that first team, because he looks kind of irreplaceable to definitely to the way we play as well.
Aye, mate, 100%. And obviously that news coming in tonight, Ryan, obviously that he's now going to be eligible to play on Wednesday night, mate. I think it's a massive lift for the team, mate. A whole massive... I wouldn't actually be surprised, mate, to see Daizen through the middle on Wednesday, now with that news, because that forward line, he gives you that intensity, that press, the running power, and that's not a thing on Adam either, because Adam Ida's done very well recently for the team as well. But when you've got that there, that's a whole different machine entirely, especially against this sort of opposition. So For me personally, I know Alan was saying earlier about Jota, that's how strong we are. I mean, Jota, sit down, son. You'll be carrying a jacket for a wee while, but maybe no. I mean, he might play Jota, Kun and Maeda and really try and have a go. I mean, we are at Celtic Park as well, but on the game on Saturday, mate, I thought Maeda was tremendous. The power he gives is on the counter speed. You look at the second goal for the one Yang lays onto him. The two of them burst up the pitch, and the two of them they're sprinting clear of Raith Rovers. It's just a phenomenal weapon to have in terms of pace, the agility that he has on and off the ball, and the pressing power that he gives you. Not only when he's got the ball, running with the ball, when he's not got the ball, when he's harrying people. I think that's what's different from Kyogo to Maeda, Ryan, for me. Maeda actually runs and physically makes contact with the defenders. Kyogo used to just stop a millisecond just away for the defender if the defender played it. But Maeda's one of the very few players, Ryan, I think I've ever watched, mate, that can sprint at someone and then directly in the same speed line sprint to the next guy and no lose breath. It's just phenomenal, mate.
I think I've said to you on the weekend about how I think me and Alan spoke about it as well on Thursday. That was it Thursday? Thursday. No, Wednesday. Obviously put out the recording. That he's probably turning out to be your most important player now. In terms of what he gives us and his goals, and like Alan says there as well, and yourself there about the train of form. He's been tremendous. I think in terms of obviously Wednesday, I think if he doesn't start, it's a kicking stones for him. If he doesn't start, because he's now the main man, and if he's not the main man against Bayern Munich, then for me that's a kicking the stones for him.
Yeah, I suppose everybody's going to look to start in a game of that magnitude, but
I personally don't think Jota will start now. I don't think he'll start now. I think that changes things. I think Maeda will play it wide, and I think Peter will play up front.
It's a good headache, though, isn't it?
Aye. Oh, listen, 100%. But again, it all depends the way the managers want to play. Is he want to use either as a target man, or is he want to go with more power and pace and give Jota a flat out 60 minutes and go, listen, he might not be 100% fit. Go and give even a full half of your best you can in the first half. So, listen, we've got a good headache now. I don't think it really matters who you play. Because I think if you play Maeda, you know you're going to get a sniff with his press and his goals. And if you play either, you know you've got the physical attributes there. So, again, it will just depend. Because as much as Bayern Munich are really good, they have got some defensive frailties. They do concede a lot of goals in the league as well. So, it's one of the ones you need to watch how they play going forward, because some of the players are the best in the world, but defensively they can be get at. So, but no, Maeda's, like you two are saying there, he's different class. I know I've said it myself that sometimes he's maybe not technically the best. I'll tell you what, he's improved tenfold. And it's something I could probably put to you, Alan, yourself. Do you think it's down to, obviously Alan, you can answer this and JP can answer, do you think, Alan, it's down to Rodgers improving him, or do you think it's Maeda improving himself? How do you take it? Because for me, Alan, whatever's happened, he's 100% get better on the ball. He's get better off the ball. His finishing ability's no question, but he's get better in terms of he's no hitting balls out of the bingo now in the forced market. He's actually hitting the target now. So, what do you think's changed?
I think it is probably a part to do with Brendan Rodgers coming in, and whether that be the kind of coaching routines that he's going through, etc. But as I said earlier, I think a lot to do with his recent vein of form and his upturn and kind of accuracy and finishing. A lot of that will be to do with kind of confidence as well. When he's playing as well as he has been this whole season, that's only going to make the player more and more confident, and with that in turn is going to come with kind of better performances, more accurate finishing, etc. So I think it's probably a mixture between both, but Brendan's obviously seen something that Daizen has to improve on. It looks as if they've been working on that in the training ground, whether that be kind of finishing or accuracy, and it seems to be working, because what we've seen in kind of Daizen Maeda and the kind of the recent games, it has, as you say, it's massively improved to maybe the player we've seen a year ago or 18 months ago or so, that was maybe kind of hitting the ball the all the top of the stadium, etc. So, it can only be positive for us as a club and for my first 11 because, as I say, Maida playing and that kind of putting in their kind of performances, it's got to be extremely difficult to kind of put him out of the team because he offers us something that no other player does, and then you're adding in kind of goals and assists into that, and that is a scary kind of player to come up against when you're kind of in the opposition's feet.
Yeah, what you were saying there, Ryan, I know about the Maeda thing. I think it's a collective, mate. I do think Brendan has worked on him, especially you look at the Real Madrid game. There was a couple of Gary Glitters he missed in there that night for me. You know, he's now taken. Kenneth, I've said this millions of times, mate. I've actually spoke to the lads even off of this now, and I've said Maeda's a centre forward. We've turned him into a wide player. We put him out wide to accommodate both of them, him and Kyogo. But we signed Maeda. He was a centre forward for Yokohama, and he's a centre forward when he plays for Japan. But his numbers since Rodgers has put him through the middle. I mean, I don't know where he's sitting now. He must be sitting near the 10 goal mark now. But it's been absolutely incredible. I mean, that's what's that?
16 he's got all season.
16 all season, but no, he's got more than that now because him and Kuna.
Is it?
Aye.
So it was 16, 17 before the game, then.
But look, Brendan's come out and says that he didn't want to play him there. So I don't know if Brendan's going to change his mind because he went to see Maeda putting in their kind of performances. But I think we were thinking as well because we are thinking the Maeda of the past, the Maeda that maybe missed the opportunities. So we are thinking, he's probably best out wide. But if you've got a Daizen Maeda that is taking up the opportunities, that is play goals, then I think the fans and Brendan maybe need to rethink, should we be playing him through the middle? But that's completely up to the manager. Obviously, he's going to make that decision with our input.
Here's the thing for you, lads. I know Brendan doesn't do it very, very often, right? But would you know play him and Ida up front together? Either a big target man, Flacco, Maeda through and goal. he's very, very
listen,
quick.
I think that's a great option as well.
Wednesday, but I'm just meaning.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I think that's an option as well, mate. Yeah, I think. Listen, we've only got what is it, eight more wins really to secure the league title again.
Something like that.
I think you'll see, along as we go here, the more games we start gunning down now and ticking off the box, and I think you'll start to see what Ryan's saying there, Alan, in terms of experiments. I think you'll start to see things coming into our play that you maybe not have seen earlier in the season because of, one, the pressure's off, the league season will be over, and two, it just gives the manager an opportunity to have a look now towards the summer, as in, right, okay, I'm probably going to bring in another striker, but I want to see what this relationship's like. I mean, he done it earlier in the season, one season with Edward and Dembele, and then that was rocked by Musa moving on. So I wouldn't be too quick to kind of diss that and totally drop that as an option altogether.
No, there's every chance that may well happen. I think Brendan is pretty kind of set his way, shall we say, that the way kind of sets up is, I'd say about 95 to 99% of the time he does play that kind of 4-3-3, shall we say.
He likes the two wingers, doesn't
he? So most of the time he will play that, but there's every chance that he may well go, I can mix it up this game, maybe give that a try, see how it works. But he tends to be a creature of habit, Brendan. He tends to kind of, his mindset on that's the way he wants to set up and he wants to play. So I wouldn't be absolutely shocked if he did try that, considering what you're saying, that we are kind of ticking off the games and there is kind of, we have got room for a wee bit of error. We have got room for us to kind of try things like that. But I think I'd probably say the majority of the time he is going to stick to his tried and trusted kind of 4-3-3 or any similar kind of formation like that.
Yeah, I want to say a wee apologies, folks. Ryan put a message out earlier. We do seem to be having a wee bit of trouble with this software tonight. I don't know why it's lagging, but if you do see our faces stop still, and well, I promise you right now, we're not just sitting here taking selfies randomly. We're actually, the software is going through a wee bit of a problem just now. It's not us. It's nothing to do with us. So it's the actual platform that we're on. So apologies for that. Yeah, Ryan, like I say, Brendan is a kind of creature of habit now and again, and he likes to play with his wingers. But I think we've seen this season, mate. He's not evasive to totally. I mean, nobody's seen the Bergamo set up at all. Nobody's seen that coming. Mm-hmm. So when that happened, we're all like, right, okay. That was a change, and I think even Brendan, a bit of him that night, I can guarantee you now, mate, probably didn't want to do that, but he knew he had to, Ryan. Mm-hmm. He knew he had to, mate. He knew because of what happened in Dortmund, mate, he knew he had to alter it slightly. And I think, personally, Ryan, all right, okay. So we're just playing tricks on us then, boys. Nobody else can see it, apparently. So
they're tripping.
we're on the good stuff.
Right, if you poured bleach into this thing, bro.
Hold on to a sniff of the lid of this now. Hold on a minute, Ryan. What have you been up to? Did Rangers get beat yesterday? Or am I getting through something?
Is the electricity getting funded by the government library?
No, it didn't happen. Clement is Peter Powers, he's hypnotised you. Right? He's going to make you get your hang out and eat an onion.
I could swear. Going to see Peter Powers on stage. Aye, he does that in a half 10 show. That's how every time you see him, he's going to Lidl to buy onions. But no, I can swear I thought I'd seen them getting beat yesterday. I really do, man. But being no well's no good for you, man. I'm telling you, honest to God. But no, I think Brendan he can be a creature of habit, but he's showed this season for me, Ryan. He's no quite he's not stuck in his ways that much, mate. He would change. So I do think it's definitely up for an option. It's got to be.
I think when the players we've got, especially going forward, I think we've got the option to go to two up front, the also 4-4-2, or to go to 4-3-3, or to go one up front Maeda, or even Maeda up front himself in Europe, by the way, now, would be an option. It might not give you the physical attributes, but what he gives you in behind is similar to Kyogo in terms of that, or even maybe quicker than Kyogo.
Here's a question for you boys, right? See, while we're on, this is brilliant. I love this. We've been able to have a discussion inside this discussion about this. Do you think he's faster than Kyogo? What he does in terms of the way he does it?
Aye. He's maybe no quicker in terms of it's weird right now. I can always talk from my own experience playing up front, right? I might not play at that level, right? But you can be very, very similar to Tom Rogic, right? Rogic wasn't quick.
Yeah.
But he was quick with the ball and quick at moving. So there's a difference between being physically quick, but then being quick on the ball and movement. So Kyogo might have been quicker movement-wise, but Maeda, in terms of raw speed, he's quicker. So you probably get a better option with putting the ball to the tap to him than you would Kyogo, because he's quicker in terms of raw pace.
Here's one for you, Alan. Do you think he can be a bigger goal-getter than Kyogo?
No. I don't think so, no. I think the difference between the two of them is that Daizen Maeda is definitely quicker, but I think it's probably, I'm not saying that Maeda's movement isn't it's great as well, but I think Kyogo's intelligence for moving, his intelligence with the runs, I think we're maybe on that upper echelon, we're on a different level in quality wise. That's not to dispute that Daizen Maeda, his movement and his running's absolutely incredible as well. But I think when you're looking at the intelligence, the kind of Kyogo's movement and runs, I think that was just that wee touch more than what Maeda's got. But I think Maeda's strengths are his kind of running power and his intensity and the point that he kind of never stops kind of moving like that. So I It's a headache for Brendan to have that we've got these kind of three wingers now, or somebody that's coming through the middle. But I just hope that they all get game time and we don't kind of. I get the point of maybe thinking about playing two up front, but I really want to kind of push them all in the team so that we've got all of them in there. Still play the way we're playing.
Yeah.
And they can all rotate, but that is a great headache for Brendan to have, especially when we've got Maidan back for tomorrow.
But on that, when you said, Jai, sorry, go. Sorry.
I think he definitely comes back into the team. He starts tomorrow. I don't think I've got a doubt about that.
No,
I think Maidan definitely starts.
What you were saying there, Jai,
He probably will start tomorrow and still make the game in mind right enough as well. He's up for it.
Oh, right. I'll get my Tuesday next week, innit? It's Wednesday this week, Tuesday next week.
Aye.
What you were saying there, JP, obviously about Brendan, he's normal. I would say that no, he's normally stubborn with his formations. He doesn't really change it, but obviously Atlanta, we've seen he did. I don't know if it was due to pressure because of the Dortmund game and he had to change something. But I know the team did they set out the way it did, but we all know the way he set it out to be that way. So it's probably a formation you'll need today in Bayern as well. Probably no matter what we get on Wednesday, if it's 4-0 to us or 4-0 to Bayern or 2-1 or 2-1, whatever any result is, we'll probably need to go and play like that in Bayern because we can't go to it in Bayern because we'll get destroyed. That's just not going to happen. So you'll probably need to have an Atlanta performance and he'll need to set his team up like that and be disciplined and like whoever Baked Beans is. And the comments there says whoever it is spot on about Harry Kane. Harry Kane's numbers are it's a disgrace.
No, unbelievable. No, he's
honestly, I think it's actually. I was sitting with my old man the other day, we're talking about him, and I think it looks like he's got more goals, I think, in games. It's got Ronaldo's record at the moment. It's unbelievable, by the way. Now, people say that Harry Kane's he's getting all for England, but for England don't play to Harry Kane's strengths. That's why he's not got the same player. Go to Bayern Munich and he's a king. They love him. Scores every single game. So we will need to match that, do you know what I mean? But no, listen, I think I'm looking at as well, JP, that he has got to change in certain capacity, but I think now we've got the option, especially to go one up front or Maeda up for what, you've got the option now to do that. It's a different option, and then just see what happens when you do that away from home. But no, I do agree, mate, that Brendan can change if need be, and if the game suits it, because in Scotland doesn't need to do it. Even at Ibrox, you don't need to do it because the team's good enough. The only game you would do it is a European game. So I agree with you, mate, on that.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to touch on it because I said it at the beginning. We had a bit of a phantom at the weekend as well. We saw Yang pop up with 2 assists, Alan, and a very good goal, very good finish. It's very hard to take that out of mid-air and keep that in time. And, you know, he's done a lot of things that he needs to do better. And we all know the Yang story. Everybody does. But a wee bit of credit where credit was due. I was kind of laughing away to myself when I seen him score because I thought, hey, what you doing that, son? You shouldn't even be there. You should be back here a wee bit. You're not used to being in there. And I thought to myself, we must have been watching one of Jota's DVDs or something, or one of England. A great delivery for Alston, but an exquisite finish for the wee man himself, mate.
Aye, I was expecting to see what you see in Mission Impossible when they take the mask off, and I was expecting Kyogo to be there. He was going to do that in the middle of the park. No, I had a conversation with my dad at kind of half time. He's like, okay, yeah, after that. He'd obviously had I think he had an assist by that time, aye.
Yeah, he set my header's goal up, didn't
he? His overall play tends to be quite frustrating at times, I think. But when you look at the overall facts of that game, he's got 2 assists and a goal that was a very, very good finish. There was great technical ability in that finish because take that down like that kind of first time, that's it's not easy to do. So
no,
as you say, credit where credit's due. Is that going to change my mind with Yang whatsoever? Not in your Nelly, it's not. But
About another
Credit where
20,
credit's
about
due.
another 20 or 25 more of those kind of finishes, and
Aye.
maybe then we'll have a conversation.
There's a long,
And that's
long, long
22
way to go.
goals and then 4 goals. Aye, that's 20. Aye, all right.
As James Kennedy says, maybe Yang's been hypnotised to score. Who knows?
So, maybe he's eating onions.
Then the next week is 4 assists. Then the next week is 6 assists.
but you've got to, when a guy finishes a game making a 2 assists and a goal of that kind of quality, you've got to give him credit. So
yeah,
maybe his overall performance can be frustrating for fans to watch because it's no great, but he's finished that particular game with 2 assists and a goal. So you need to give him credit and applaud him for that. And I think Ryan might have let him out the basement for that. So everybody's a winner.
Yeah, I actually wanted to touch on something, Ryan, tonight anyway, when I know you were at the game, man. So how did you feel when you seen your big mate being given the captain's armband? Because just as soon as I seen McGregor getting at him and get him it, I just thought of Ryan. I was like, I wonder how Ryan's feeling at this point in time. He's actually at a game. The team are being captained by a guy that he captured.
I think McGregor must have gave it to the nearest person close to him because Scales should never. Because listen, it's amazing for Scales.
I think was he not the most senior player there?
Probably, aye. Maybe,
Aye.
maybe I don't know why, but let's be fair, Liam Scales should never have that captain armband on playing with Celtic. It just shouldn't be happening. But you've got to praise him. It's an amazing moment for him. To leave the game as Celtic captain, which listen. That's something I'll never do. So fair play to it.
He's going to be able to kill a grandman's one day, mate. Know what I mean?
So, no, listen, I agree with you on Yang as well. Listen, I obviously Celtic Park, you don't get a signal, but I had a few messages through my phone saying, "Oh, Yang was see before. See, apart from his assist in the first half, he was pretty poor."
Look, my dad says, whoever wins the Paradise Windfall, give me 10 grand and let him play the second half instead of Yang.
The first half he was not great. Listen, apart from his assist, he was not great. He was so frustrating. He ran the ball to Park a few times like that. Come on, man! Like I even said at half time guy next to me, get him off. Like he can't do this even against Raith Rovers. And then obviously second half he's come out and he was, to be fair, different class second half. He was taking men on. He was a bit better, and he's general play. So. Fair play to Barry, and obviously where I sit, I'm at that goal. What a goal that was, by the way. That was a tremendous goal. Great technique to keep it down, and even Maeda, what a finish that is. That is unbelievable to keep that down, running at full pelt to keep it down. And that goal, by the way, that goal's not spoken enough. That was a world-class phase of play. For Jota, for the far corner, into the middle, out wide, in the middle, down, Lang. What a goal that was. But because it's Raith Rovers, it's just Raith Rovers.
No, it was you're getting your games mixed up. That was Dundee.
I mean, but with the media and the pundits, and that's not getting lauded. That's not getting spoken about, by the way. It's only getting spoken about Celtic won 5-0 and they beat Raith Rovers. That was an unbelievable piece of play. And that's obviously something they've done. I'm not saying that is that played in training. But in terms of the actual phase of play, in terms of passing and getting out wide and through the middle of that Maeda, that's not just stuff you just come out with. They've obviously practiced that. So for me, that was an amazing goal. And it's not going to spoke about Iron off, but no, listen, Yang, I agree with you. It's not going to change your mind on Yang, but you've got to credit him when credit's due, and at least we know he can do something. But whether or not it's going to be longer period of time, Celtic probably no. Aye, probably no. No, I mean, probably no.
Oh,
but,
we know, by the way, after Saturday, we know you can finish a ball on the drop anyway. That's for sure, because his timing
obviously, we do know there's different levels to certain games. Like, sorry, us saying Dane Murray done well, but when he goes against Bayern Munich, you know his knickers will get done. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way football is. Even Scales and Vickers and Trusty might get knickers put down with Harry Kane. So it's not just on.
I remember Mo Salah scoring an absolute screamer against Basel in the last minute. Right, but that didn't happen very often again. Remember that?
How was the year we go to Seville? That was the beginning of the Champions League qualification. Aye, and then we got down to UEFA.
If Yang keeps the last minute. If he keeps doing hangs like that, Yang, then Brendan will probably keep him in the squad because he'll be able to come in and play games like that and come in against it Milton and stuff. But we all
Guys, I'll need to move you on because we're one and only caller of the evening is sitting patiently waiting.
I can see him there. He's sitting his boat of bleach because Yang played well. I know. I can see him there sitting his boat of bleach.
He's actually got Yang's jersey. He's got a wee grass stain on his shoulder there, and we'll see that when he comes on in a wee minute.
When he scored his lat at back in his jersey, I've done it.
That celebration. As indeed. As I said, I do apologise tonight. We seem to have a bit of miscommunication somewhere, and our callers previously were meant to be on earlier, and it's not happened. But the one and only caller that has turned up is indeed our sponsor, Mr. Alec Beveridge. Good evening, mate.
Evening, boys.
How you doing, mate? All right?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm really good. Just can't seem to wipe this smile off my face for some reason yesterday. It's been a good day at work and everything. So that's apart of, well, you all know about the Dortmund story. It was good to get that one back with a Queen's Park sticker back on to the one So that big guy, he ruined the day that he done that to me when we get beat off Dortmund. But no, a good day. All good, lads.
That's the story I heard this morning. I know Barry Murray, mate. He went into his work and played Killer Queen, put it on the Bluetooth, and just played it all the way through the work. Tremendous, absolutely brilliant. But how have you been, big man? It's been a wee while. I've been on here chatting to you anyway.
Yeah, just busy, mate. It's been a wee busy start to the year. That was very, very unexpected. I spoke to you earlier. I've just been dealing with some other wee things, going forward with the business and stuff, and everything's looking rosy. So I just busy. But as I said to you, I just need to get a wee catch up with you because I've not had time to see you or get a wee beer with you or catch a game. So I've been. He's got what
the late Christmas bonus, lads.
That's well spent. That's well spent.
He's bought it in Yang's jersey.
We'll play double or quits, bit of double on Yang for a weekend.
Anyway, lads, as I was saying.
Brilliant.
It's tremendous. That's tremendous. Absolutely tremendous, man.
Listen, lads, another wee I've been at the gym, I've been trying
this is another example of why this show is not scripted. This is another example of that.
Unrestricted,
that's why it's unrestricted, folks.
See anybody, I've been going back to the gym and stuff, and see anybody telling you creatine, best one that I've done.
No, tremendous, honestly.
Lifts you full of energy. Keeps you going. Keeps you going through keeps you going through the day, lads. Honestly, you can't beat it. Never mind all that creatine and protein stuff. Get yourself a wee jug of that and you're on your way.
Keep you
I'm
going.
on it tomorrow, definitely. So
how's been great, isn't it?
Aye, 100%. He drinks more. He drinks like Barry fluid and all that and all at night. So,
Ben, obviously, that up before the game. That's how he was playing that well the other night.
Brilliant, man. So obviously yourself, mate, your take on events at Celtic recently and obviously moving forward, what's been your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, obviously Kyogo being away, it's a big disappointment, but it's like every other person that goes away, you just need to go on with it. We've had better than him leave, to be fair, and getting Jota in was a boost because I think at the point of Kyogo leaving, we could have easily panic bought, and we didn't. And I think we've got more than enough in the tank. I spoke to you earlier, JP, and I said that if we had a better draw in the Champions League, I think maybe we would have pushed for a forward. I really do. But the fact that it's Bayern Munich, and to be fair, nobody sees us getting by them. And I think the manager's in that same frame of mind as well. So there was no need to panic buy a forward when we've got Maeda as backup, which we've all been talking about. I said on the show a couple of weeks ago, I fully expected Adam Maeda to step up, and I think he has. And going forward, we've got more than enough to see us through to the end of the season. With yesterday's result, it just makes it that wee bit better. And looking at the 8, or looking at the other 17, that are in the quarter-final draw, is very, very hard to see where who we get drew against would beat us. So going forward, you're talking about wee experiments and all that. I think he will eventually do that throughout the season when things are getting that bit closer to the league finishing and, you know, depending on. But come the business end of the year, we just seem to be a different animal. It was the same last season. We pushed on where other teams were starting to, you know, it was starting to get to them and injuries were coming in, fatigue. We just seemed fitter at this point of the season. And I think that's the way we're going to go again towards the end of the season. I really can't see where there's anybody going to disturb us in any way. You know, it looks easy, but you never know in football, do you know what I mean? But that's the take on it now.
Yeah, 100%, Alan. Obviously, as Bev says there, it looks easy. And I've always said on here, mate, the hardest thing to do in football is to win. But to do it in the way that we seem to be able to do it, we've made it look easy over the last number of years now. But I think he's spot on, Bev, and what he said in terms of Celtic coming alive at this stage of the season. Because it just looks like, even last season now, Celtic are going to, you know, the games in midweek now are going to dwindle away eventually. And then it's going to be Saturday to Saturday or Saturday to Sunday or Sunday to Sunday, whatever it may be. And then comes a split. But by then, the performance levels just become better and better because the players are getting longer rest, longer recuperation time. And Brendan probably doesn't have to change the team as much as well. The team might become more settled. And I've always said, mate, cream always rises. And that's when trophies and medals are handed out, mate.
Yeah, we've started kind of improving our overall performance. I think we looked upon the weekend there as well. No, during the week, the Dundee game, I think that was probably the most complete performance we had since maybe Leipzig or Aberdeen, the semi-final, I'd say. So that is very positive. We have got everybody fit, basically. We're just waiting on kind of James Forrest coming back, and that's basically we've got a full squad. So, and obviously we were neighbours across the city going out yesterday. It puts us in a prime position for this treble upcoming. We are kind of 13 points clear. We have got maybe a couple of difficult league games coming up, shall we say. Still put us kind of strong favourites to come away with 3 points with a lot of the kind of league games. But I think it looks extremely positive going forward to the rest of the season. I can only see our performance kind of picking up. I think when you've got that kind of competition with the likes of Jota coming in for the wing positions, and you're looking at all three of the wingers, and then you make it to 4 and 5 with the likes of kind of Forrest and Yang. They all need to kind of be at the very, very top of their game to get any game time. So I would be expecting, especially a really strong end to the season. I think we're well capable of that. And I could see us kind of, hopefully, touch wood, I could see us winning this treble and kind of making sure we're dominating this country and it continues to go on and so forth like that.
Yeah, Ryan, I've spoke to you a number of times now, mate, about this, and I think Bev's bang on, mate. He says there, I've always said to you, mate, this is what I call the business end of the season, and this is when Celtic come into their own. This is why your winning mentality, guys like Callum McGregor, Casper Schmeichel, CCV, Alistair Johnson, Greg Taylor, all these guys that have been there and won and known how to get it over the line, mate. And for me, mate, not only just performance levels and everything else, that is also a big win over our neighbours across the city because we've got many in the squad that, you know, that can get Celtic over the line. They don't even have one. Even their captain, Hall of Famer, candidate. So, because he's a serial loser. And that's the nature of that. He's their captain. And he couldn't lead Wayne's out of close.
He's disappointed.
He's disappointed. He's the only guy I know that's disappointed about being disappointed. But touching on, obviously, what Bev's saying, Ryan, and obviously your own thoughts regards to Celtic marching on now and probably looking to be unstoppable.
Well, I'd like to put my neck on the line to start the season. If at the end of the day, across the water, I would want to clap if it doesn't happen. But I did say we win the league by over 10 points and we win the treble. And I stuck by it. I think we'll win the league by more than 16 with the way things are going. if they get beat the weekend and we win the Saturday at 16, and can you really? We might draw a game, we might get beat a game, but that's probably it. You might do that at the end of the season with potential the league's finished, and they might put out a waiting team or guys to just really not play them as much, like McGregor's give a bit of rest, and you might drop a few points, which is allowed when the league's finished. It's not a damn squib, but it's allowed.
Yeah.
So I'll stick by that, and I don't want to say it was disappointing to no one in treble, but it'd be a wee bit of what could have been, because you've got a massive opportunity. You're the second, if you want to call them the second best team in the country that could challenge you to win it, or won it now. You've got an Aberdeen team out of form, and the rest are all, well, I think Hearts and St Mirren are now 1 each as we're live now. So
yeah, Hearts have just scored.
Aye, so there's no I don't want to say there's no real opposition, because that's disrespectful. But what I mean is the quality of teams we're going to be playing against. They're never
in an extremely strong position. I'd say that's probably the best way to put it. Extremely strong.
It's really, for me, it's Celtic's. As much as, again, people can clip it, whatever. Listen, it's going to hammer on a platform, everybody can see it. But it's if we win the treble,
Ryan, see for me, sorry to cut in there, mate. See for me, the rest of the draws looking at us and going, I don't want them.
No, 100%. If you're Queen's Park, you want us for the glamour tie and the money financially side to play against the best players in the country. They'll want Celtic at Celtic Park. Probably for
they only want to come. They only want to play us so that they can go to the Rebel night ways after it.
So they can play disco. They don't want to go to Celtic Park to dance to disco land again.
To dance disco land properly, because we've got that new changing room now that's got the Bluetooth speakers on the ceiling and all that.
If Queen's Park or even Livy would want it for financial aspects as well, because they're obviously in the Championship. They don't have a good sense of income. Livingston, I think they've only got 1,000 or so season recorders, so they might need the money as well at Celtic Park. So that's probably the only teams. Any team would want Celtic for the financial aspect, no for a chance to win a cup or get through to the semi. So no, listen, it's our treble to lose now, and I don't like saying that, because I know how hard it is to win any game of football and win trophies, but we have got an unbelievable opportunity to go and do that. Obviously, as well, the figures came in today about the interim report. We've got £65 million sitting in the bank. We've made £43 million, and that's without the European money. And that's us spent our record transfer fees twice. So this is us without the Euro money and without the money for Bayern Munich, without the ticket sales for the season. But so the summer you'll probably see 1 or 2 record fees maybe broke again. So if they're going to win a cup now, when is anybody else going to win anything? And I'm being serious here when I say this. If we win the treble, who else is going to beat you to a cup? Because you've got so much stronger squad and the manager and the mindset of the team that it's going to maybe take the odd game where you, like maybe at Ibrox, where you go, full team's terrible, right? It can happen. But realistically, if we're 80% of majority of games, we're not getting beat.
Cup games are different. Cup games ain't good. I mean, you seen it last year against Carmarthen.
That's what I'm saying. It takes it maybe the odd game, Aaron, but ever since the season that I used to love to speak about, and we lost to 10 that I was so angry about, look past that now, what's happened? We've won just about every trophy.
No, I know. I know. It's been incredible.
As much as we might say the Bolts do this better, this and that, realistically, where we are in terms of financially and everything else, who's going to catch you? Who's unless we have a full like that season again, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, 100%, mate. But obviously, it's been a day for announcements, obviously, the way the night's worked out as well. But not so more so than Celtic putting out their interim report. And included in that was the signing confirmed of Kieran Tierney for the summer, mate. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a great signing. Everybody goes on about Kieran Tierney, like he's injury prone. But I just think it's Arsenal's training. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
They train a totally different way. There's a lot of players that have went down there and they've had the same problem. One that always comes to mind was Alec Klebb, if you can remember him. That when he went to Arsenal,
yeah.
He was one of the best players in Europe when he went to Arsenal. And then he went lame.
Was Fingman always out? I know Sanchez. I know when he was at Arsenal.
Sanchez was one.
Thomas Rositzky was another man. It was really high.
All these players, top
Arshavin.
European players.
Arshavin.
Yeah,
Aaron
Arshavin.
Ramsey, I know.
What was the boy that
Ramsey.
played against us? What was the boy that played against us and he broke his leg? Eduardo.
Aye.
Eduardo. Aye.
All these players went to Arsenal and they were injury prone. You know what I mean? So I think Kieran Tierney he'll be a great coming back. To sell him for 25 million and get him on a free is unbelievable business. Absolutely unbelievable. Even getting Jota for 8 million when you've sold him for 25. That's 50 million pounds worth we have got in and we've only paid 8 million back out on it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But him coming back, it just strengthens Celtic again. And then whatever we need in the summer, you know, Brendan will look at that and he'll address it. And I think the main thing he'll address in the summer is another striker. I think he will get another big striker in. And we're talking about what you need to pay. Celtic can afford that now. You know what I mean? But there's no panic buying anymore, which I like. Years and years ago, we used to panic buy and we used to get in with the rank people and get the rank person in it. We're not doing that anymore. And that's good business. You know, you're not everybody's shouting. I know we're shouting, right, we need a striker and a striker. But why panic buy and then the guy doesn't work out? You're then going, we're paid 8, 9, 10 million on somebody that's no worked out to then go back to the drawing board and have to look somewhere else and get it all done again. You know, so it's Kieran Tierney coming in is just amazing. It's amazing. It's good to have another player like him that knows the club, that knows what it's all about. As I spoke to you earlier, JP, we've got people like Schmeichel, Johnson, Carter Vickers, McGregor, and now Tierney coming in. It's not just one person as a captain. You've got professional players round about you that's been round the block, that knows what it is to win, that knows what it takes to win, that will just push Celtic on again, you know. And it's just a great bit of business for Celtic, I really do. And it's good to get somebody like him coming back to Scotland, to be fair, and get him out the dungeons on there, because as I say, Arsenal's one of the club I think are just toxic. I really do. Anybody that goes to them, just they either fall away, you don't hear about them game, or they're just injured all the time.
Nice wee thumbs up for yourself there, Alan. Thanks for that, mate.
What?
Nice wee thumbs up there on your wee thumbs up come up on your screen there, Alan.
Did it? I didn't hear it.
No, it just come up there.
I don't know why.
It's still on. I didn't hear it.
You on TikTok? You on TikTok, girl?
Honestly, I don't think that it comes look.
Fireworks never. What is? What are they doing?
That's Govan.
Why do you go? Why?
He's got the TikTok app on, isn't he?
An interesting fact. Why do you have interaction with Philip Clement's emojis today?
Aye, that one.
If Philip Clement whips off his mask, you'll see Alan.
Scooby-Doo style.
The mystery machine.
Stone insane. I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you mingling kids.
Those pesky Catholics are at it again.
Aye, pesky Catholics. Brilliant, man. But no, as Bev saying there, Alan, obviously, Kieran Tierney, it's just a phenomenal bit as he said there, mate. You've to sell both for him for 50 million, mate, and you're only paying 8 million to get the ball for him back, man. It's a land of dreams, man, is it not?
Aye, well, we had to pay, obviously, Benfica says the Benfica, we paid 30%, so we're a few million off for that, but basically, it's a great bit of business. You're looking at Kieran Tierney, I think it's a fantastic signing, but the question marks over his head is it's all been kind of well publicised with the whether it be fitness and injuries. That's probably the only reason that we are able to attract Kieran Tierney back. It's probably his relationship with Celtic and the question marks. If the question marks weren't over his head, then he's a world-class player. And he's a world-class player that was getting quoted with interest for kind of Real Madrid, etc. in previous years gone by. So I'm quite happy that the question marks are over his head, because that means that we are able to bring him back in, which is proven true. So, for me, we get a fit and fire kind of Kieran Tierney. He's a top player. And I think he goes direct to in as number one choice for a left back, you'd say, without a shadow of a doubt, because he's probably one of the best left backs that I've seen in Scotland in my lifetime anyway. And I just hope he continues to show what he's capable of doing when he comes back in the summer.
Yeah, Ryan, obviously, as Alan touches on there about the connection with Celtic as well, I've always said to you, mate, I think that's why we're so lucky to have Brendan back a second time as well. Obviously, his connection with Celtic's there, and in my opinion, if that isn't there, then we don't attract that manager back to us again for a second time. And it's the same with KT. I think, he's a big Celtic fan, and I do believe part of the contract, lads, is that when he retires, he becomes the front runner for the megaphone with the Green Brigade, and he gets he's getting to his place in the standing section in the North Curve.
He's. I was actually talking to my old man about this today. Actually, I generally don't think people realise.
I think you'll fight if you call him old, mate. Just call him old on the platform, man.
Well, John, people know who he is anyway. John, he's in the comments. He's sort of Yang. Yeah, I've not seen him comment a while, but yeah, John. Well, we all know John hates Yang, but I was speaking.
Was he cheering on Saturday? Hold on. Was he cheering on Saturday?
Probably was.
When he scored, right? So doesn't he?
But I know, and I was speaking to my dad the other day. I was talking to him today about it. I don't think some fans realise how good a player KT is. They generally don't. No. This guy is, like Alan says, if there wasn't question marks above him, he wouldn't be coming to us. He's an unbelievably fantastic player, and in my opinion, he's one of the left backs of the world. But if his injuries weren't to be kind of as they were, he probably wouldn't be at Arsenal. It'd probably be it, maybe somebody like Real Madrid or.
Ryan, I think you've got to look at the teams that are coming in and looking at him, and we're being told that obviously Celtic have beat the signature.
West Ham and that. So listen, I think it's going to. What you'll see is, again, it's no offence to Alex Valle, Greg Taylor, Jeffrey Schlupp, Bernaby, any of the guys that played here after him. Wait till you see him play in Europe. That's where you'll see the level of how good he is, because he'll be able to compete with the Harry Kanes and all the guys, because he's played at that level. With Celtic and with Arsenal. He's played it against Haaland and your Gabriel Jesus, and he's Alexander Isak's, all the guys. He's played against all that quality opposition. So if there's one player at Celtic who's going to be able to compete with him, it's him. At every single level, physically, fitness, mentally, about everything. So to have that in your team, it's going to help us tenfold. In Europe, it's going to give you the mentality. And he's only, 27 or so, right? Having that in your dressing room as well is massive. See, like, I know it's done now, but see the game at Ibrox, having him in your dressing room, he wouldn't have that. Can beat Africa Command at the Cup, he wouldn't have that. So it's an extra added body in with that mindset as we speak about our mindset. It's a massive voice, Alan, and like Bevan said as well, it's a tremendous signing, mate, and I can't wait to see him. I really can't wait. That's the sort of players that, as much as we love going to see Celtic, we love going to games, that's the guys you want to go and see. Your Jotas, your Tierneys, your Kuhns, all these sort of guys, and that's the sort of players you want to see Celtic. Aye, who?
Yeah,
Maeda.
Aye, Maeda. He's an unbelievable player, and if he is generally going to listen, he's been fit for months now, by the way. So it's not like it's the day of fitness. He's been fit for months. He's played in part of Arsenal's team, and he's on the bench, so he's fully fit. So if his ties the rest of the season, he'll come to Celtic fully fit. And I can't wait to see him play. If the left hand side, if it's Shota, if it's Maeda, if it's Kuhn, if he signs somebody else, and someone like Bev says, Mingin or striker, Mingin or winger, I say he's in Scotland. Nobody can compete with that. Nobody can buy a player of that quality to come in and make an impact like that. So right away, you're already ahead at the start of the season. No matter else where you're sitting, you're already ahead. If you lose Taylor on the summer, if we don't, you've got Kieran Tierney today at least to the end of the summer. It's for a
Oscar
few weeks.
Cortez.
Aye, Cortez, aye. So, but no, lads,
He's coming in.
I could probably sit up.
By the way, he's on the same pack lunch as Daniel Proda and Alfred.
I could probably sit on a podcast talking about Kieran Tierney, JP, because I'm a massive fan of him, mate, and I think he's a real talent. I know he's only 27 as well, so we're kind of getting. I know he's been injured, but in terms of football and wise, we're getting him at his peak. So we're probably getting the best Kieran Tierney we'll ever get. So whoever was the mastermind behind it, if it was Rodgers, if it was Lawwell, Mackay, whoever it was that got him in here, deserves a medal, because that is a tremendous signing, and we'll never get a signing like that for left back in terms of buying a player. He's 40, 50 million pound worth, and we're getting him for basically a Bosman fee.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Bev, obviously, a couple of things before we let you go, mate. One, obviously, the forward planning of Celtic you touched on earlier about not panic buying, etc. And you look at the way Celtic are doing it now. Tierney's coming in the summer. Jota's probably the plan and all to get him fit over this next period of the season for the summer, as Ryan said. Then you're ahead. You've got to say that that's certainly improved as well. You've got to look at the SINISALO deal as well. That's coming in to be an understudy there to Casper. Played his first game on Saturday, but he is learning. And then obviously with the hope of Casper retiring, he might be the next man to take over. So do you think we're getting better in terms of our forward planning and looking like down the line with a plan?
Yeah, 100%. It's, as you say, we're getting ahead with Tierney coming in. We just need to get Jota up to speed on games. But even the games that you've watched him, when they're saying that he's no fit, he's still got that touch of class about him. The touches, the passes, the confidence oozes him. He just looks happier that he's back here. You know, he's got that way. I mean, the emotion when he scored to Stonic, that just shows you how much he missed it here.
Yeah.
You know, and then whoever we get in, you know, put it this way, see if you're sitting on that bench watching the guys in front of you and you're talented, it shows you how good you need to be to get in the first 11. You know, I spoke to you earlier, JP, about I forgot Maeda was suspended, but now that that's overturned, I'll go with the team that I said to you earlier. I think when you go with Maeda, Kuhn and Jota up front against anybody, I don't care if it's Bayern Munich, Raith, Rovers, whoever it is, that's frightening. That speed and pace is absolutely frightening. Even though Jota's not 100% fit, if you've got Maeda coming through in the middle, now you were talking about earlier with Kyogo, completely different player. Kyogo played in the shooter because he's no got that pace. Daizen Maeda can play in the halfway line and give defenders 10 yards and still be well ahead of them. Getting into that, if you punt a ball or anywhere, whether it's a corner or a tap through the middle, wherever you punt that ball, he'll run after it.
See the distance he made up to get to that, see the goal at the back post? The distance he made up before that was crossed, it was rapid.
This is what I'm saying, right? If you're watching Maeda live, right, you can't see him for telly because he's not in your telly until you see him. He's that quick that defenders go, he's away over there, I don't need to worry. And then the next minute he's behind you, he's in front of you scoring a goal. He's just so quick. And that's frightening. And it's hard to defend it. And I don't care who you are, whether you're the best defender in the world or you're no. It's impossible to defend against when somebody is running at you or knocks the ball by you and you know that you've got to turn. And see by the time you turn, he's 5 yards in front of you. You know what I mean? And it's frightening. But going forward, you're looking at, well, you do, but I do think we need another striker, to be fair, in the summer. And then you just need to look and see who's and who wants to come and play, because I think we're an attractive team to watch now. And players must be going, I would love to play in front of their fans. When you go to a game, a Champions League game, and you hear that noise and people talk about the noise and they hear, it's unbelievable. Why would you not want to experience that as a player?
There's a comment here for you. Obviously, it's to the point that you've made about Maeda. And I think it's a great point, because I remember watching this game, and Ryan, I was mid conversation with you on the phone watching this game in the background, and I said to you, Japan have just scored here. And it's a comment, Bev, that Ryan T makes, and he says Japan turned Germany over at the World Cup. And they done it because they played Maeda. They played Maeda through the middle, and he absolutely ran them ragged.
If you look at the two guys Japan had that game, I know the two wingers were fast. The boy with the blonde hair that dyed his hair blonde out on the left.
That's right.
And they had another boy. The three of them were rapid, and that's what overturned Germany, because usual German defenders, big bulky guys up for the ball, intimidating. They just put that ball and knocked it in, and the big guys couldn't catch him.
It was a big guy. It was a big lad that he was with Chelsea. He's now at Real Madrid. Rudiger. He absolutely ran ragged.
But if you watch that game, Rudiger would have been better after in a pair of tights. He was absolutely hopeless that night. They ran him inside out.
He was wearing a pair of tights, to be fair.
They ran him inside out. And listen, Bayern Munich, they're always one of these teams that are favourite for the Champions League. They're always there. They're one of the big six. And I think we could do something at Parkhead. You know, I really do. On the night, if we come up with a level of performance like Leipzig and Atlanta and stuff, you never know. But it's a tall order going out there and playing him there. As we talk about Harry Kane, as much as you don't like him, he's phenomenal. He's a phenomenal goal scorer. The guys, the goals to game ratio is frightening.
That's why strikers are worth the money, Bev, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why teams like that have got players like Harry Kane, because they've got that in abundance to do that, to win you big trophies, but he just doesn't.
He's a player, he's intelligent.
He's intelligent, yeah.
And then it's all right if you sat there off the bench.
If they still get Kingsley Coman as well.
Aye.
He's a season pro for them as well, and then they've got the lads Serge Gnabry as well, haven't they?
They're a fantastic side, man. When they're on their game,
Robin.
This is how exciting this is, Bev, that we're actually sitting here talking about this, looking forward to this game on Wednesday.
Yeah, they're a phenomenal team. They are. You look at the players Bayern's got. A lot of people might not know the name of them because they don't watch a lot of German football. But if you're watching like the Champions League game, then if you watch Germany play, like the boy Musiala's a frightening talent, absolutely frightening. And they can hurt you. They don't really need to defend Bayern because you might get an odd goal against them, but their attacking for me is unbelievable. And Harry Kane's the forefront of that. He's just a phenomenal big striker. You know,
the big boy in the back, man. I've seen him a few times. The big boy Kim. He's like the referee Ambrose, man. He is. He's got a few moments in him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe not to that extent. Maybe not to the extent of that, but he brings to their team what they guys brought us, Bev. And I think with Maeda, he doesn't like boys with pace, and I think he's up against Maeda, mate. He's going to know. He's going to know about that.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, if we get the first goal against him, it's something for us to kind of hold on to and push on. I don't see us sitting back if we score first. I think we'll push on, but you never know. But I really do think there's a win in us at Parkhead, but it'd be really, really difficult going out of the Allianz and try to get something out there. But you never know on Wednesday. That crowd just lifts you. You know, it's one of the nights that you kind of need the crowd with you if you're going to do anything to take over there. And that they'll be there in abundance, you know what I mean? So it'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. I like seeing big players like Kane and all that coming to Parkhead. It's unbelievable to see these players when people boo them and you're sitting there going, it's not very often you get to see players like that coming to Parkhead, and it's good when they're there that you see them live. Young people see them live because you never know that your next Champions League game, you know what I mean? So it's always good that big teams come to Celtic Park because I think it brings the best out in us.
What day is our next Champions League game, Alan? After next Tuesday?
What day?
What date would it be, mate? What date's the playoff?
If we could put it.
Obviously, I'm only having a laugh. I'm trying to have because we run it every year. I'm trying to say what dates for next game.
Start for about August.
Right, okay. And it is only a playoff.
The draw is usually the beginning of September, August, beginning of September.
Right, aye.
Just after the transfer window shuts, you usually get the Champions League draw. See,
that's something, all lads. See if we hopefully we're fully prepared for the qualifier. See if we win that night. I think you'll see spending. I'm not going to say how much money, but I think you'll see a bit of money getting spent by Celtic because they want to then progress again. if we think about the draw we've had to do, what we're spent now and what we've done, if you add maybe 2 or 3 bits of more quality that elite guys like Engels, who for me is tremendous, and by I think this time next year, you're being talked about for going for 25, 30 million pounds, no matter really stuff. I think you'll see a bit of money get spent. I'm not saying how much, but I do think you'll see money like that. Like either money and the Engels money, I think you'll see that get spent again. Because I'm not saying we need to do it with every player. You'll still maybe get your £2 million bargains here and there, but I think we've seen when you spend, not all the time, but majority of Celtic's big signings, maybe take away. I know we've had a Yeti and Barkas, right? And they're off scale, I get that right, but 9 times out of 10, your bigger signings, the majority of work. So if you're buying your quality like your Engels, who you've scouted for a long time and you know you're going to get them, your Jams, your Sinclairs, your Edwards. I know he was a young boy, but Roger says he was probably up there with the best young players he's ever seen or coached, and he was rightly so. £9 million a bargain for Edward. So I think you still get your 2 million here and there, 3 million here and there, but you're probably going to see us spending your 7s and 8s, 6s and 7s and 10s. I think if we're going to progress in Europe, as long as we're getting that income in, can you see it's open? Why so?
They get you a calculator, wee man. You started with 7s and 8s there, and then you went 6s, 7s and 10s.
In terms of the...
I was ready to shoot bingo.
In terms of varies of spending, you might get the odd £3 or £4 million player, but I think you will see maybe 2 or 3 big players like your 9s and your 8s and your 10s. I think that will be a higher bracket, because if you're getting that income every year, why not? Date until you can't afford it, and then if you can't afford it, then you cut back.
That's the way Rodgers has spoke about it, Ryan. That's the way Brendan spoke about it. You know, the way things are going. But
I was actually talking to my dad as well today. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Talk Sport.
That's a lot of talking you two have done. Come on,
what's
going on?
Somebody doesn't see that a lot. You do a lot of specking. You do a lot of the specking.
Better style clothes and look, I can't miss them. You know what I mean? I can't mean to.
That's because you get one of them new Helly Hansen jackets. He go for his Christmas. He goes and walks the dog.
Here, I'll fling it at the back. You use it now. I can't.
I'll give you an onion, son.
There was a pundit down south. I can't mean to as he says, but he says he thinks Celtic are going to eventually spend like 15 to 20 million a player. He says, I think they're going to do it. I don't know who it was the pundit was down south. He says, but Celtic are going to maybe get to that stage where they're earning that money that they might eventually do it. He says, I'm not saying right now, but in the next 2 or 3 years, you might see Celtic doing it. If you can do it for 2 players, why not for 1? No, it wasn't me. I can't mean to it was. I'll get it after and I'll let you know about it. But it's a punt down south was saying, because of how far away we are, we can afford to do it if we're going to bring that money in. And listen, I'm not going to say, I doubt it, but when would you see this? We spent £11 million upon that, mine 20. So listen, who knows?
When would you ever see a day spend 11 million quid and it's a boy that plays in the Bundesliga?
And a guy who was told it was dog meat after 2 games.
Listen, for Celtic to evolve,
a guy still being told he's not done enough in the club. He's not done enough for the team. He's not doing enough for the team. It's
for Celtic to evolve, it will eventually get to that, but you can't go and spend like 9 million, 11 million, and then suddenly go down and go, right, we're just going to pay 6, we're going to pay 5. You can't do that. To evolve and get better and better, you need to spend bigger money. But the thing with Celtic is that you're spending that money and you're playing in Scotland. Mm-hmm. You know, there has to come a time where you've got to look at it and go, you know, what are we doing here? But at that point, I'm not saying we go to England or you go, you know what I mean? But we need something in structure, because before Rangers died, there was always a thing that the big 2 would need to leave. They would need to leave Scotland for Scottish football to survive, because it was always just Celtic or Rangers that was winning stuff. But now it's just Celtic. It's just Celtic at the forefront. I mean, what is it? 3 trophies and 42 Rangers have won.
They've only won 3 out of 42. Yeah.
I need pies were called at half time.
See when you say that, that's absolutely frightening.
Is it 23 trophies since 2016 or something?
To Celtic?
Yeah. Aye. 22
24. It'll be 20. I think the end of that season it'll be 27 or something, somebody was saying.
That's That's incredible, man. That's incredible.
For anything to happen, like say like evolving, and as you say, we want to attract better players. You're only attracting them as long as we're in the Champions League. If we're not in the Champions League, I don't think we're going to attract players now at that ilk of money. But there will come a time in the future where you need to look at, for Scottish football to survive, you look at down the lower leagues, the part-time teams and all that, they'll not be here in 10, 12 years' time. Their leagues will condense because football's just gone that way. You know what I mean? It's all about money. It's all about finances. And a lot of teams, they're looking for that big game against Celtic, against Rangers, to get their finances up, to keep them going for maybe one more season, 2 seasons tops. Yeah. So for Celtic to evolve, we will spend money because it's there. As long as we're winning, we're in the Champions League and we're getting bigger, copious amounts of money in, then we will spend. But there will come a time where you need to go, are we going to spend this money on guys just coming to Scotland and playing in Scotland? But that's another conversation at another time, lads. But
100%, aye.
It's just good being a Celtic fan now, isn't it?
It's tremendous, mate. It's tremendous. As I say, another wee drink here. Your positive creating stuff there that you've brought with you.
Once I'm done to use, I'm going to do 10 laps around Celtic Park and then go to my bed.
Once we're done here, Ryan's going to do 10 laps or something else, then go to his bed.
See me go up past up kind of the other south side, you go to a place called Queen's Park. You heard of that?
The cafe's lovely there. I was there last night. Got some ice cream.
A nice coffee, by the way. Tell you that.
Got some ice cream there last night. It was lovely.
Take some of that creatine meeting. That'll help your coffee, mate.
There's no creatine in that.
No, you don't have any jelly.
It's just pure hunters.
He was raging and all because he could only get ice. He could only get ice cream with no jelly.
No, that's it. That's for another party.
Did somebody not say today, by the way, that they've put an inquest in for the game to be replayed? Apparently, because he's no Corgi registered.
Do you know what? It's actually true. Clement has phoned the gas board to see if he's registered. Clement did phone the gas board to see if he was registered.
Clement woke up at 4 o'clock this morning to see if he'd lost any sleep.
He's still counting sleep.
Oh man!
He's the only person I know that when he swore and that thing, you get embarrassed about swearing.
But what about the press, man? What about back post Jeffy? He's got a Chelsea.
That was a loan. That boy that scored yesterday was on loan for them, and he turned him inside out, didn't he? I mean, the boy was all rank fit at Everton, still beat Jeffy, and managed to do the awkwardest thing to turn his body to nutmeg Kelly.
See the video that appeared on social media last night when I went to the front door? I was just waiting, Bomber coming out going, used by the pies, used by the ballrooms, used by the programmes. I was like, where is he? I was let down at the end of the video when he wasn't there. Like, no way, what's going on?
You buy the pies.
It's your club. Brilliant, man.
You go to the game, stay in a house, go to the game.
Big Phil walks out and jumps into his big Land Rover Escape, man. Away he goes. See you later, boys.
By the way, 50 grand a week he's on, man. That's incredible. That's absolutely.
It's a bargain. It just shows you that's the kind of money that runs your club back into administration again.
Bev, I meant to say to you, I was in B&M earlier on, mate, and I picked you up a couple of these. I'll drop them off tomorrow to you. They taste amazing, by the way. Honestly, they taste amazing. They are amazing.
I'll never look at a bag of Space Raiders the same again.
Honestly, they are amazing. I'll drop these after you.
Only 40.
Oh, man. Brilliant.
That's all he's worth now.
I know.
Brilliant, honestly. Tremendous. But no, that's all we've got time for the Monday evening. I know, we wish we could sit here and chat all night, but unfortunately we can't. We will be back Wednesday morning with myself and Big Al. We'll be taking in the pre-match thoughts of the Bayern game. We'll be doing it live for you to get it out to you before the game Wednesday morning. So we would have normally had our good man, Mr. William Glavin, but he informed us tonight before we came live tonight that he's unavailable for the podcast. So he's got a prior engagement apparently. I think he's 2 timing us for another channel, Alan.
Sorry, big man's usually drinks anyway, mind he's telling us
I know,
so
I know.
we love him dearly, but let's hope it's a good sign for this week.
That might be a good omen. Celtic might get a result. At least the wee man will not be saying teams are going to beat us 5-0 and all that. You know what I mean?
He's talking about putting double figures. See if he's with next week when we're at Munich, he'll be like, no, I fancy 32-0 or something.
2 grand and HATTRICK anything.
Aye, I know.
Aye.
So,
That's no Spartan dream, that's spanking your dream.
That's Harry Kane dream.
Man's the same man that texts you to put your mortgage on Sergino.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Don't tell Big Alan that.
The only one that ends up with a long face is you.
Big anti-post Alan. I bet you lumped on Sergino and all, didn't you?
Oh, no. Not at all.
You're out of Raith telling everybody, get your money on Sergino. That's how he's it for the season.
He was thinking about the Sergino played with Barcelona, but
Sergino.
But, no, as I said, that's all we've got time for tonight, the Monday night. Folks, just to let you all know that we do have 18 balls left for the bonus ball. It is to win this fantastic signed and framed Joe Muller 1989 jersey. There'll be 40 Joe holding up the cup. We plaque telling you what it's for and the certificate of COA. It was gifted to us by our dear sponsor there and a good friend close to us through Alec himself. Obviously Joe's signed the top there for you as well. Nice wee hail with the year of when the top was from. There is 18 balls left now on that. So if anybody wants to take part in this, you can pay your money into the PayPal account, which is on the screen for you now. The bonus ball is £5 a go, folks, okay? Lindsay, fantastic, pal. Superb. If you go grab another couple, that's fine. Just let us know when you do. And we'll get it filled in once, I'll get it filled in once we come off here. But that is the PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, let us know and we can arrange an alternative method for you. Once we've got this filled, guys, on the next podcast that is coming up, we will be doing a live draw, okay? So once we do this, we'll do a live draw and get it out to the lucky winner. So Ryan Clifford 9 at AOL.co.uk is the PayPal if you want to take part. So feel free and best of luck to the winner. That is a fantastic piece, lads. Obviously, Joe, we done a live event. We managed to spend the night with Joe not so long ago. He is a great guy as well. And a good Celtic man. And MD's collecting memorabilia, Ryan. I'd imagine that would be right up your street, mate.
Like I say, some of the kind of stuff are hard to kind of come by when you need to spend a bit of money out your own pocket to obviously go and buy it. So, and I know things that come up very often. I know a lot of people do these things, but like I say, is that the authenticity is there? Some people they've not got stuff like that. So
No.
it's a very worthwhile piece for, like you say, it could be a collector's item for people who like all the history stuff, and that could be your thing. So yeah, no, definitely. If you do want a wee shot, that's the PayPal. But if you've not got PayPal, like JP says, you can ping myself, Alex, Aaron. We're on every social media platform. And JP, you can ping us all wee messages to go about that as well. But any other topics for the podcast as well, we're always free to talk. I've not really spoken about that a lot, but the mental health side as well, we're always here to have a chat. If it's football, anything at all, it's not something we've plugged a while, but obviously it's a big time now. Christmas finished, people can be lonely, but if anybody's out there, don't side yourself. I know we might seem a laugh, a joke sometimes, a bit of banter on here, but we are quite serious people, so we've had people in the past that we've spoken to. Again, they'll remain anonymous. So if it's football, personal life, ever at all, if you want to be chat, if it's outside the podcast hours, if you want to call it, then let us know. But yeah, if you want to be short to play on the podcast raffle, just let us know. We're happy to help.
Brilliant, lads. Well, it's been a pleasure being on tonight with you again. It's been good to get back on and have a chat. Feeling a bit better now. Hopefully it stays that way and we can motor on to the next one. But Bev, cheers again for coming on, big man. It's good to see you also.
Well, see you, mate.
Seeing you all. Catch you all soon.
Take care, mate.
Take care, everyone else in the comments. Thank you very much for your comments tonight. Thanks very much for all your lovely messages and your input. Sorry I'm not able to get everybody's...
my 40 pence pickled Space Raiders now, no?
Brilliant, mate. You need to honest, I'd be bagging them before we come on. Amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. Tremendous. But all in all, take care. Hail, and we'll see you all again, guys. Bye-bye. Right, lads.